always around when the trouble comes. I'm the atheist that gives a bad name to the other ones. You should be gone when my brothers come. If you're here when they get back, an exit will be troublesome. You'll be torched in battle, 1600 bars apiece and forced to travel. You're just one in the horde of cattle. And since sheep need a shepherd to protect you from a wolf as it feasts on the lesser, disorient your flock like MC Escher. No, I won't throw the go board away for simply checkers. Just gesture. We used to battle to see who was fresher. Now we call each other hater over Twitter once we're under pressure. The greatest tag team to rep a stable. Grab a table, wreck it at a show, or reject the label. Check your cable if you're searching for commercial shit. To GUniverse, spewed with purpose from the surface.
So what you hear is not a test, it's a battle of two MCs. So grab everybody from your hip-hop group and watch us clash all over the beat. That shout you hear is not a drill, these whack crews have to go. So instead of selfish battle, we form a squad, double up, now we ready to roll.
Yeah, everybody got swag, but we're looking for longevity. Hear a lot of talk, reckless and never brevity. Settling the petty beats through LED screens makes me think these fiends don't know what enemy means. See, when I was growing up, if you battled it was love. Yeah, the bars were split with mouths, but then after dap it up. You live to tell the tale and that's what's up. Now these actors blasting buck on some gun shit. Battle of the dumb, right? You can see it save you. Shooting for some page views, shocking with the lyrical skills we came to taste you. Blaze through your ordinary, extraordinary crew. Recorded because you caught it with the tools. Reported to the news on some TMZ tip. You better stay neutral with your DMZ clicks. Focus on your weak shit while we dig deep with our eyes on the prize, knowing these MCs sick.
So what you hear is not a test, it's a battle of two MCs. So grab everybody from your hip-hop group and watch us clash all over the beat. That shout you hear is not a drill, these whack crews have to go. So instead of selfish battle, we form a squad, double up, now we ready to roll.
You'll find me with the music's playing.
With the newer cadence, fans like Wise Gas killing tracks.
Cause he's Super Saiyan. On defense, we're shutting down your favorite play. Gray and C Gats bringing the impact in a major way.
Barking on cats like we're major pain. Don't need a stack of bills to toss away for fame just to make it rain.
Keep your chain. I'd rather create me a matryoshka brain. And as an MC, bring the yoga flame. Right, you GUniverse, you already know the name. That's why you're afraid to show your face at the poker game.
Frozen domes like when Novocaine overcame the odds like a soldier, made our way through the cold and flames. Tell our tale till we're old and gray. Define age, even with the walking cane, know our poems fame.
And if it's poetry, bet your ass you'll notice me.
Like we were addicts on the dopest street.
So what you hear is not a test, it's a battle of two MCs. So grab everybody from your hip-hop group and watch us clash all over the beat. That shout you hear is not a drill, these whack crews have to go. So instead of selfish battle, we form a squad, double up, now we ready to roll.
Yeah, I've been blazing it since the 8-bit ancients. Now I'm in the system's base code making changes. Ablaze in anguish, those that dare to face grading. A unified planet trumps a great nation. That's what we aiming for. Save the gore and hastily stop those who abuse power from taking more. We dominate the machine, screw king of the hill, champions of the ravine. Ryukin versus plants versus zombies. Two MCs puffing the green against an army. You can't hardly get a word in edgewise. Where's the party? I'll kick it fresher than the next guy. Aiming chest high at their best try. Dropping science from the east coast to the west side. Let's fly, nobody can catch us, cause it's still no sky gods, punk labels nor masters. Bonus level, owners of the golden medals. You can tell by how we're coded that the flow is special. Either rise above the boss or go below the threshold. Just be somewhere else when these two decide to go to rec mode. Bonus level, owners of the golden medals. You can tell by how we're coded that the flow is special. Either rise above the boss or go below the threshold. Just be somewhere else when these two decide to go to rec mode.
Ride the high tide, then dive through a typhoon. typhoon. 99 lives, too nice, violent rhyme fool. We fly through the night, writing jewels, fighting knife goons. Hit them in the eyes till they die from the right moves. Discover weak spots and patterns, this is really skill. Break them down to basics, concentrating on Achilles' heel. And Chili Hills, killing many an enemy's will. These villains spitting fire, but it's frozen and really surreal. It's ice stage, it's ice age, so we step light. Running really fast, that just puts you in a death slide. You're falling off now, the victims of the bottomless pits. Dropping off the grid from the cliffs in the ominous rifts. I'm palming this shit, a cartridge of dominant hits. We're launching from the hip, his squads are gone and we're gone in the mist. Toss your quarter up, I'll offer you another try. A part of me, you gotta put $1 on another guy.
On this level, owners of the golden medals, you can tell by how we're coded that the flow is special. Either rise above the boss or go below the threshold. Just be somewhere else when these two decide to go to wreck mode. On this level, owners of the golden medals, you can tell by how we're coded that the flow is special. Either rise above the boss or go below the threshold. Just be somewhere else when these two decide to go to wreck mode.
Release our special abilities when the bar is raised. Super arts engaged and we enact the slang. Swift fatalities, your bane is what we're bringing to the street fight. We're taller than a Cali redwood and y'all are knee high. Please try to elite seafoods with 3 eyes, who emerge from darkened corners to seek light. We might choose the passive route but never pacifist. You push us to the edge, we're coming through with the assassin's fist.
A masochist with a habit of smashing shit. I can purposefully end a rap career by accident. Half intent, the other path is solitude. If you do it well enough, bet on people to follow you. Blinded like a molecule. Over hip-hop, gaming, marijuana, and a lot of school. Redefining what is possible, finding obstacles, then solutions that are optimal. On this level, owners of the golden medals, you can tell by how we're coded that the flow is special. Either rise above the boss or go below the threshold. Just be somewhere else when these two decide to go to wreck mode. On this level, owners of the golden medals, you can tell by how we're coded that the flow is special. Either rise above the boss or go below the threshold. Just be somewhere else when these two decide to go to wreck mode. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo, yo.
It's been another week. How you guys doing?
How's it going?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Can't complain. We are back. Thank you, everybody who's tuned in. I guess I should go on record right now and let everybody know that we have found ourselves a home in Stitcher Radio. So if you are listening now, or if you haven't, figured out where you could find us on a more regular basis, I think Stitcher Radio is probably going to be our main portal for our podcast. So
yep.
Check us out there. I'm sure iTunes will catch up. We haven't gotten any response for them changing our XML or UML,
right,
whatever. So we'll figure that out.
We'll get that Stitcher app.
I guess Stitcher's going to get some business from us then. Download Stitcher, the podcasting app, and if you search Graydon Square or GU or GUniverse, you should be able to find us. So this episode will be up probably tonight, if not tonight, tomorrow by the latest.
Yep.
So that's what we got going on. I'm here with Tombstone the Dead Man and IDs.
What up?
Yo, yo.
Graydon Square. I'm about to get really high and talk about science and technology and possibly some new Star Trek. For those who don't know, I'm a huge Trekkie. I have been since I was, when did I discover Trek? 9, 10, 11 years old, something like that.
What?
Yeah, man.
I think it was about the same for me, although my generation never started before your generation never. When I started watching I call them the Kirk Chronicles. I started watching the Kirk Chronicles.
Yeah, man. But we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about this NASA unveiling its plans for I'm not going to call it faster than light ship, because I don't think that'd be accurate. But it is kind of like a warp drive. And for those who don't know, an article came out on IO9 where basically, I don't know if you've been on our page. If you haven't, you've probably seen this already. But
I'll put the link in the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, here's the thing. Like, I've seen this particular idea for the last, 8 years kind of bounce around on the internet, maybe 6 years. But this thing called an albuquerque drive or something like that. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
So I've read articles and read journals where people have proposed using those type of drives to achieve, faster than light circumstances or interstellar travel or whatever the case may be.
Right.
This is the first time that that they've unveiled actual models, that they've had a science and a presentation behind it. I'm actually going to play a little bit from the video.
Oh, dope.
That way you guys can check out what this guy is actually talking about, because it really is. It's pretty remarkable, and by the look of it, it looks pretty possible.
So that's going to drive the amount of energy that's required to a very large value. So I worked with the guys to update the artwork, Mike Okuda and Mark Rademacher, to a concept that properly reflects some of the math. And so you see here the rings are considerably more athletic in this concept. And the spacecraft no longer has its bits and pieces sticking outside of the what would be the warp bubble. So this would not necessarily be a short, sad episode of Star Trek. This might go a little longer, at least, as long as everybody's not wearing red shirts, right? So, just a couple more shots. You can see if you're going to make a spacecraft, the amount of energy that's required is a function of the external radius. So this concept has a lot of empty space. Right, so that's another thing. The amount of energy that's required based on the math is also a function of the radius. So you'd make sure the bits and pieces of your spacecraft might fill a bit more of the volume, right? Because if you're going to go to all the trouble to make that big, you're going to try and put everything you can in the little flat space-time there. So how much time do I have, by the way? Okay, all right, I'll go through this quickly. All right. So this is some work I did for Mason Peck at headquarters. This is a notional roadmap of what might be some of the steps along the way to get to the romantic vision on the far right there, right? So that's the kind of thing we always think about and so forth, and it's very interesting. And so we're way back here on the left, here in the lab, doing these small, tiny things, trying to do, what I call existence proof for the concept. So what would be some of the things that you might look at as you try to go through and mature this technology in some way, form, or fashion? And so
I'm gonna just stop right there. I don't know if everybody was able to see that. I think Tombstone, you sent me a message saying that people weren't able to see it. Hold on, you muted.
Yeah, I was looking on the actual channel video and I didn't see it. Like, it was up there, then it went away.
I don't understand that, man. YouTube, you guys
We'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But anyway, so if you haven't seen it, go check out our main page on Facebook. We are Grand Unified.
Yeah, and I placed the link too in the comment section to that article, so go check it out.
But what this really means on a much more broad scale is that we, as a human species, are getting much closer to stellar travel and, by extension, interstellar travel. And hopefully, one of these days, our species, whatever is remaining of the human race, will be intergalactic spacefarers, based on the technology that's being unveiled in the coming years. Because we're looking at the very early developments and the very earliest ideas of manned interstellar travel and manned intergalactic travel, however you want to interpret that. So I'll throw it over to you guys. What you guys even think about the magnitude of that statement? But
for me, I'm a detail guy, so I'm thinking about all the other details. Assuming that we do develop this technology to its fullest extent, which planets we're going to go to see, what kind of protective outfits and stuff would we have to wear? Like, would they change depending on what type of planet we're going to? Just simple things like that. And how far do we want to go first? Like, do we just want to explore all the planets that we can explore first in our own little solar system right here and then move outward?
Oh yeah, no one wants to test a jump in between stars.
Yeah.
Wants to be that guy where it's like, oh shit, we have no idea where we are, and literally our home is,
It could be millions of
Yeah,
of light
millions of
years.
miles away, like literally millions and millions of miles away. And it's if you get caught, first of all, I mean, the idea that nothing can go wrong inside this warp bubble. What happens if the bubble collapses on you mid-flight? Like,
Wow.
I mean, I hate to go negative early, but
You got to talk about those things, though.
I gotta talk about
You
those.
got to talk about that, man.
I'm gonna get high and try to imagine the good things about this. You guys.
But
Go ahead.
what if the superstructure, like, wouldn't the superstructure probably collapse at some point?
I'm assuming that the math checks out for that. I'm assuming that this guy presenting these particular sketches and mock-ups, this is a guy who's worked with NASA for a long time on this particular idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming the math checks out based on the structure. I think, in fact, I would even think that the structure may be secondary to the math that makes the whole thing work in the first place.
Right.
They don't care what it looks like as long as the math checks out.
So do this then. For those who might not know, explain to them the concept of warp.
Okay. What's this idea? Now, in the Star Trek sense, you're supposed to be traveling at multiples of the speed of light, right?
Yeah.
Right. Warp 3 is, I think, supposed to be 3 times the speed of light.
Right.
But it grows exponentially as you get higher, right?
Right.
But that's not how I think in reality warp drive would work, because I think that violates a lot of constants in the universe and a lot of one, namely relativity.
Yeah.
General relativity. You have a lot of problems with that. But I think the way that they're trying to apply it this time around is by creating an expansion behind the ship. First of all, they're creating a warp field.
Yeah.
And fuck me if I completely butcher this explanation. But essentially, they create an expansion of space behind the ship after creating a warp field, and then they create a contraction in front of it.
Right.
And basically, you're not really traveling at relativistic speeds. You're actually moving the space, which doesn't have mass,
Right.
and expanding and contracting that, which moves the ship in space-time.
Right.
That didn't even really make sense to me, but I mean,
Well, I have an example. Some years ago, I cannot remember the name of this goddamn book to save my life, but the book was fiction, but they had this concept of something they called the Tesseract, and it's very similar to that principle in that they're basically talking about moving space-time, not necessarily the ship itself moving, but they're moving in space. And the way it was explained in the book was, this would be space right here. And say it was an ant on this end, right there. And that ant wanted to go from here to there. Now, if the ant just walked straight across, it would take it a considerable amount of time to get there. But if somehow they could
Fold it, yeah.
Right, fold time like this, the ant could get from here to here in a relatively short period of time. So
without having to traverse the distance.
without having to traverse the actual distance. Yeah, that's how it was explained in that book.
Well, look, if space-time can be folded over itself in that way, if it's malleable like that, then hey, I mean, shit. I mean, we're talking about, we're speculating way outside of our range.
Oh, hell yeah.
This is literally type 1.5 speculation.
Hell yeah.
And we're 0.7, so we're just trying to understand this. But the implications to humanity would be just astounding, because you're talking about people will start investing in their own private ships that can go out and search really in the nearby star group places that human beings could possibly settle. And it's not just planets. You're talking about dwarf planets and moons,
Right.
that have, conditions for life, and the first person of the human race to discover a planet which has some sort of a ecosystem and other life forms and stuff. So, I mean, it doesn't take a Richard Branson or an Elon Musk to get excited about something like that.
Great. So, I don't want to sound, scientifically ignorant or anything, but
No, that's great.
now why wouldn't they? I know that people want to go to Mars, and I really think that in the future, if we live long enough, that's possibly possible, as well as this faster than the speed of light ship.
Mm-hmm.
But wouldn't it be nice to just like practice some shit like on the moon? Because the moon is right there. We could like it's closer. We can.
Well, see, I disagree with that. I mean, okay, I understand what you're saying. We should practice somewhere else, but the moon is not where we should practice. Because if we fuck up the moon, we fuck up Earth.
All right. That's.
If there's a warp accident on the moon, I'm assuming that the species are going to be felt down here.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I was wondering why. I mean, that might be the reason why they're not doing that. You know, I mean,
this is why I don't think. I mean, and I heard that they were planning on doing this, or maybe they've already done it, but there's no way I can substantiate this. But detonating nuclear devices on the moon.
That's a really phenomenally bad idea, man.
What the fuck, really?
That's
a phenomenally I think it was something I read on some whack ass website somewhere. So don't quote me.
It was a moon landing denier site or something.
It was like, yeah.
They put a big old dumb target on the side of the moon and start sending nukes up there.
But there's also other aspects too, because you got to think, man. If we're discovering and developing this technology at 0.7 with no artificial general intelligence helping us at all,
right.
What the fuck are we gonna be when we get artificial intelligence? And by the way, you know, for people who suggested that we should have talked about the supposed computer that passed the Turing test, yeah, there's with a little bit more research, it has been discovered that that was not a supercomputer at all. It was simply a chat script.
That's all it was.
Basically, it wasn't a Turing test of any kind. So that's sensationalized headlines, but that's why we're not talking about that. The NASA Starship is actually a real thing, and even if that other thing was real, I still think starships are much cooler than AI, even though it should have a good AI in it.
The ship would have to have good AI.
But you're talking about all these things developing at the same time. AI, you know, Starship technology, man, and we're still 0.7.
Yeah, my only fear, and my only real fear is that, you know, what will man do in the meantime, in the between time, while we're trying to develop these things? What kind of stupid shit will we do to each other right down here before, you know what I mean? That's the biggest fear that I have for that. Like, are we going to get embroiled in some bullshit and take our attention away from that? You know, we'll get into another world war. There's going to be some more, you know, dumb shit that's going to really distract us from what we need to be doing. Because I got to be honest, a part of me thinks that the biggest obstacle to a lot of these things being done in the way we want to see them is borders, flags, and sovereignty. I think that's one of the hugest obstacles we have to get over.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Damien Calvillo in the comment section asked a question that's pretty good question. He said, intergalactic space travel would be cool, but what would we expect to find or learn? I'm going to jump on this question first. You guys can tackle it after. But I personally believe that there is more to learn out there than there will ever be to learn on this planet. That's not to say there isn't great, massive amounts of things to learn on this planet, but out there is so much bigger. And there's so much more that can happen because the scales of time and space and depth are just so much more vast than this place.
Right.
And to truly understand where we come from and where we're going, I believe the answers lie outward. And that's not to say that internally, you know, from a human perspective, that our search for truth should all begin inward. I think the information and the data and the discoveries that would substantiate that sort of truth can be found in other worlds and different areas of the universe. There's so many things that we have no idea about that would completely change the way we think about everything out there.
Including ourselves.
Yep. You know, I want to know if there are other species out there who've made it further, who've been around longer.
Or are we the first? Are we the ancients that we write fictional stories about? Are we those guys?
Yeah.
But I think the other thing too is I believe that we can walk and chew gum at the same time. I think that we can explore, you know, the outer space and explore the planet, like our planet. I don't think it's an either or proposition. I think as far as what else we would have to learn out there. To be quite honest with you, I couldn't tell you specifically, but what I can tell you is the last example of us having like a race to space yielded us plenty of new inventions and things like that we use every day now. So what I would expect if I was to go off of that experience, I would expect that just in our attempt to do it, we would develop technologies that, just like today, we would eventually wind up taking for granted or, not thinking too much about. But a lot of things that we have today are a direct result of that first space race.
Yeah. I mean, we're just explorers by nature, too.
Yeah.
That's just what we do. That's how we discovered the whole entire world. That's why we're all over. That's how we conquered this world.
And we've done
just naturally going to explore.
I mean, whether it's biology, whether it's physics, whether it's whatever, we like to discover things that we don't know. And I think what bigger arena, what grander sandbox than the universe itself.
Right. And we like to discover and then take.
Right. Oh yeah.
If you look at the history of the human ape, you will see that not only do we like to discover, but once we have discovered it, we like to take. That's the other thing.
And it could be lucrative for somebody. Oh, my bad. It could be pretty lucrative for somebody out there. Like if you're really into the selling precious minerals sort of thing, I assume you come back to Earth with some carbon from another planet.
Oh yeah.
Pure diamond. I'm sure you'll get.
Yeah.
Were you about to say?
Oh, I was just saying, don't let them find out that there's some fucking oil on Mars. We'll be in there in 5 years.
Forget about it.
We'll wage a war on Mars.
Yeah. The war for Mars.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, I think this is a good time to transition into our other topic with the Star Trek. But before we get to that, we should probably let people know, update them about the Celestial Wars campaign.
Oh, yeah. Listen, first, we just want to thank everybody that donated, that shared the link, all the people that worked on the campaign and sacrificed a lot of their time and effort to make this happen. But thanks to all of you, we did make our goal of 4,000. Actually, we went over 4,000, 4,025, something like that. And that's thanks to you guys. That's thanks to y'all, seeing what we're trying to do, seeing the vision of it, and knowing that it's a worthwhile thing, and just wanting to come and party and hang out with us. It's an event like no other, and I'm so happy that people chose to support what we were doing here. And it's not really over, because while the campaign is over, we still have a few slots left. We can still fill that building up a little bit more. So I'm going to put a link to our store where if you're still interested in wanting to come, or you just want to show support and get one of the perk packages, I'll put it in the comments and in the description box, and you can just go over there, check it out, see which perk packages fit your fancy. We got T-shirts, downloads, then we got like CDs and things like that. Just go check it out, and we thank you again for everything.
And special thanks to everybody who went out of their way, who was not coming to the event. That they wanted to contribute just to make it happen. Special thanks to Rissa Polaris for organizing the campaign. We really appreciate it.
And my wife.
And absolutely your lovely wife, Jetta Crawford. She absolutely killed it when it came to organizing. So there's a lot of moving parts behind the scenes that made this possible, and we really appreciate all of the things that were sacrificed to make this happen. So, on that note, I'm going to play some music, and we're going to come back and talk about this potentially new Star Trek thing.
I want that shit.
How could a person that's personally introverted just capture the imagination of people with rhyme verse? And despite all of the curses and the content that's subversive, not to mention the rhyme scheme that isn't quite perfect. Rise above the underground and people to the surface with educated music designed for them to really learn shit. The answer is can, kid. You gotta flaunt the style this rancid with ignorance to keep the people dancing. That shit I never do, so why am I ahead of you? You cater to that bullshit and even think it's really true. Appear to be the one they looking for. Your CD should be stocked in stores while you're out entertaining. entertaining the world tours. Your dress code is what they told you to wear. Your beat selection is the type they said that they want to hear. You stray away from anything that shows maturity. So please tell us why, despite how hard you try, you languish in obscurity.
I don't know, man. This is bullshit. It's all bullshit. How come they don't want to sign me? Look at my swag. Look at my clothes. Look at my jewelry. Listen to the hi-hats on this track. Ain't no boom back going on over here. Stop.
It's just a dime a dozen. You're not a has-been, you're a never wasn't. That's why your name was never really buzzing. It's just a dime a dozen. Cause when it comes to this, your name is bluffing. And they be music, people saying nothing. It's just a dime a dozen. You're not a has-been, you're a never wasn't. That's why your name was never really buzzing. It's just a dime a dozen. Cause when it comes to this, your name is bluffing. And they be music, people saying nothing. The same schemes about money making regimes, and how nobody else can ever come close to your team, and how when you approach the scene, people all scream. And this is the type of content they claim it's so meaningless. Clear up some misconceptions, cause mentally you're in the wrong direction. After inspection, you need a course correction. Music is a cheap commodity, nobody has to buy it. See, they can download your shit and get it all for free. They have to feel your movement and really want to see improvement. It's not enough that a few of them prove to it. You're just a cookie cutter, a new trend repeating butt hugger with no agenda, so you lackluster. I see you kind of flustered. I bet you wonder how this old man can grab fans while your career is so stunted. And if for once I could write the shit that you spit, but I respect hip hop enough to not sound like an idiot.
Idiot? That's what you're supposed to sound like. You're supposed to sound like an idiot. That's what the crowd want. That's what the labels want. You over here using all those big words. Man, I'ma sound as dumb as I can so I can get signed.
It's just a dime a dozen. You're not a has-been, you're a never wasn't. That's why your name was never really buzzing. It's just a dime a dozen. Cause when it comes to this, your name is bluffing. And they be music, people saying nothing. It's just a dime a dozen. You're not a has-been, you're a never wasn't. That's why your name was never really buzzing. It's just a dime a dozen. Cause when it comes to this, your name is bluffing. And they be music, people saying nothing.
I want to talk to him real for a minute. Can I talk to him real for a minute? GA, you got me? Of course, son. Let's go. I push right through it. Do right by my family type foolish at times. I fight ruthless and die despite rules bent. New threads in my closet, I need a few ends. Not a flashy type rapper, I mean I'm Cleveland and Steuben. Got like 2 pants for work in the shirt. I'm feeling worthless, but I'll never kneel for work in the church. I'm self-sufficient, so I'm fishing for freedom inside the sea of life. Need a knife to gut it, I'm suffering to get a meal. So you understand, I'm tired of hearing you got a meal. Hearing you gotta chill, these other rappers are real. They're clapping still for a deal, the lyrics ain't really ill. My swagger will pay the bills, so fuck it, I'm here to kill. Industry murders, pre-murdering beats until you heard of me. Burglary, first degree, purging the scene, unworthy beast. You get a dirty seat, I'm gunning, running for the throne. I'm running done, I'm busting flows to run them over, trucking, go.
When the old school back against the new school, go to do shit, nah, I mean. Who's Goldberg spit? I mean it when I say traffic. Bars steady attaching, never tell when attacking. Your pen alone is too tight for you to even react it. What the fuck are y'all wearing? Aiming for time. Venom ain't the only fabric tearing. Aiming for mine. See if your reality can take a load on the bearings. These niggas is Beatles racing a fleet of my cranes. They're challenging the flashing tag. Gassed off the swag, not realizing it's searing. Dying off your own vomit. Swag tag, another body bag. Giving you war with untalented force. Fearing kids in a hard never. It's a grenade launcher. Clear the corridor whenever I get the urge. Hip hop's like an OCD balloon that get needs to purge. So keep these words and I quit. A surge and surge, a hot iron clip. If you lying and why spit, I'll hawk spit a rocket to any challenge's cockpit. To my own crews, the ones that swing and I stop it.
I'm still pushing, regardless of the fact the odds are stacked against me. Simply because I'm the type that all frames of the tank is empty. I flip these obstacles and the fate of the doors is said impossible. Slay a naysayer with determination that's pathological. Cause I've been left and forgotten, called forgotten, then abandoned. Now today they live tombstone, but once they couldn't stand landing. So I'm handing out these fuck yous, but when I come through, I do exactly what I want to. But to say that it's not a struggle would be untrue. See, I've never lived a cushy life. Sometimes this life will push me like a bully that likes to mush me twice to knock me down and take my bite. The food in the refrigerator, those women that always left me later. So-called friends and allies only revealed to be the biggest traitors. People that lack the faith in me with this music shit, I make them see that all those laughs and fuckery is bullshit that never budges me. I concentrate on me and my family, and that's it. So any other conversation you bring it don't mean shit.
Yeah. Truthfully, most these MCs do not deserve to share these. Same air I breathe, undoubtedly, they simply unworthy. My talent otherworldly, I smack you and back your girl. And swear to God, you was dope till he turned his head into notice. This is all that I know, it's embedded deep in my soul. Every time I speak and I flow, I won't levitate off the flow. Knocking on the door, hip-hop ain't wanna let me in. Strapped in with C4 and blew off every single hit, bringing lyricism back, concepts and all that. Had enough of people saying turn it up in my swag. My God, we are surgeons in this ER, saving hip-hop, cause right now she needs a new heart. And I'm the last starfighter, the best ball writer. Just want a one-nighter, I would never want a wife. But when I step into a cipher, niggas' skins get whiter. They know the bar they thought they raised, I'm about to raise it higher. I'm gone.
Who wants a new Star Trek series?
I do, like yesterday.
Too bad we're probably not going to get one.
Why is that?
Well, shit, man. Look, I've lived through since Voyager, or I'm sorry, since Enterprise. I've lived through maybe 4 serious Star Trek rumors.
Mm-hmm.
This falls in the kind of serious but not so serious.
Right.
I have even posted about it. Had posted a rebuttal saying he never stated that there were ongoing talks. Some overtures that have been made from one studio to the next about releasing something independent, especially after the last movie. So, essentially, the idea would be based around Starfleet intelligence. Now, I've always wanted a new Star Trek show based around Starfleet Academy. I always thought you could have a recurring kind of revolving door sort of Game of Thrones sort of thing, where it's like you could basically have characters come on, either get killed off or move on, and that's about it.
Right.
But, you know, on a ship, you can't really do that. People have tours of duty and stuff, so they're going to be... But basically, would you watch a new Star Trek show on Netflix?
I would. I mean, Star Trek is always one of my favorite shows from the very first series up until even the newer movies were pretty good to me. Like, I like it. There are times where I'll go on Netflix and watch some of the older episodes of Deep Space Nine and stuff like that. I think a lot of people miss Star Trek. A lot of people, you know, and I would watch it again provided it was done right, because we don't want any other shows like, what was that, Enterprise? Was that the name of it?
Yeah, the last show that they did was Enterprise.
Oh, it was horrible. So
and you know what? To be fair, Enterprise wasn't bad. They were just confused as to who they wanted to market the show to. I think the biggest problem with Enterprise I found was that they didn't know if they wanted to go forward or backwards. All the technology in Star Trek is going to be futuristic. Why are you going backwards?
Yeah.
I never understood that. No one cared about the time between Kirk and Picard.
Oh no!
You're the first captain of Enterprise. No one cared about that. No one cared. I think when you go forward, first of all, if you're not going to explain some of the things that happened after the Dominion War,
right?
You're not going to go from there. Then you better go as far as into the future to where to explain that, to where all the hardcore fans don't have to basically send you hate mail, because I want to know what happened. I want to know what happened when Voyager got back. Is Janeway going to make an appearance? She's an admiral now in Starfleet.
Right.
I mean, Tuvok's teaching at Starfleet Academy. Picard's an admiral. What the fuck are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like, people are. I mean, I don't know, man. Somebody jump in there.
Well, me, man, I'm not a Trekkie. Like, I was really into The Next Generation because it was a really good TV show when I was younger and shit. But I would love to see a Star Trek show on Netflix. That would be awesome. I mean,
Give me one more excuse to go into acting, dog.
Oh, man, yeah.
Because you know I'm going to try to get a role on this new Stargate movie, right?
Oh yeah.
I got to. I got to, dog.
You have no excuse to, because you are right out there where they make movie magic. You have no excuse.
You should be applying for whatever kind of bullshit anyway. I mean, not like a ballpark Frank commercial or anything, but like...
Oh my God, you always doing ballpark Frank commercials, man.
Oh shit.
That is true, though. I mean,
I'll be honest with you. I miss a good Star Trek, and I've worn out my DS9. I've worn out my TNG. I think it's about time for some new Star Trek. It's about to be 2015, dog. We're halfway through this year already, and let's be real. If they're gonna come out with a new Star Trek series, why not do some shit with Netflix? Well, don't just go back to like regular
TV.
You know it's gonna fail. You know it's gonna fail.
Yeah,
like what Street Fighter Assassin's Fist just did. Develop an online web series or something like that to where the hardcore fans can be impressed. Because otherwise, people are gonna know that you're just trying to milk them. They're knowing you're trying to milk the franchise. They're trying to milk the brand. Nobody wants.
I agree. I agree completely. I mean, the last thing we want is a bastardized version of it, and where it basically has all the trappings of Star Trek, but it doesn't feel like Star Trek. None of the good writing, none of the social commentary that we were used to getting, none of the great interactions between the characters. Because not many shows that had an ensemble cast like that was really good at fleshing out each character. They had their own moments to shine. They're developing relationships between the characters, and that moved from one episode to another episode to another episode and evolved the characters. That's something else I think Star Trek isn't given credit for. Because we like to talk about, because we're the science and tech crew, we like to talk about all of the technology that it inspired. But I mean, just from a purely artistic standpoint, a lot of those shows did really well developing relationships between the characters and evolving the characters. And if a new one isn't going to do that, if it isn't going to focus on that, if it's just going to be, look, I got on a Star Trek shirt and a Star Trek Federation symbol. Look, I got a funny prosthesis on my forehead. I look like a Klingon, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels more like Vampire Diaries. I don't want to watch that shit. I don't want to watch that.
Go ahead.
I'm
just saying, I think it could be done. I think it's totally possible. It's all about the writing.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how great The Next Generation was. It was on for years.
Yeah.
I mean, all the way from when the blonde lady gets killed with the short hair, all the way to where the Borg is freaking taking over shit. I mean, that show was dope, man. I mean,
yeah.
Well, I will say this, man. I would like, and this never happened, but I'd like the same studio that produced Spartacus to get Star Trek in some capacity to do a Star Trek series on Stars. I want Stars to have the next Star Trek series.
Oh, man.
Straight up, rated R, gory with the Klingons.
Yeah.
You know, just, I mean, I want it to be dope, dog. I don't want it to just be, because look, we're grown. Like, at the end of the day, I don't want the captain of the Enterprise or whatever starship they have not to be able to say fuck every now and then. Alright, he's in space, there's a pathogen, he wants some pussy, or whatever the case may be. He needs to be able to say fuck sometimes, whatever it is.
That's interesting that you say that. Because if there's ever going to be a time for someone to say fuck, it will be in space.
Yeah.
Like, think about that. Think about like, some of the things they're exploring, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to explore. They're going to see some stuff that's going to go, what the fuck is that? Like, come on.
So, do you think they'll make some Star Trek that's got fuck, blood, and titties in it?
Well, okay, you can't have a holodeck without having titties. You can't be in space without saying fuck. And then you can't also be in space without having some sort of gore for some... Look, if the red shirts are going to die and it'd be interesting, you got to have some gore, dog. Yeah. I want a red shirt's like arm get ripped off and he goes, like, I want some shit like that. Like, if he gets grabbed by the monster and shit, I want to see the monster eat his ass.
And you already know, look, if the Klingons board a ship with bat lifts and all this other stuff, dude, they're ripping body parts off. These are big, huge linebacker space Vikings.
I want them to get the same treatment that the motherfucking the wildlings got this weekend on Game of Thrones, dog. Shit. I mean, if the wildlings can get that treatment with how they fight, the Klingons should wreck shop, dog.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm sorry, I'm passionate about my Star Trek, as you can see. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy.
What's the most hardcore they've ever gotten in Star Trek? I mean,
Voyager, Year of Hell.
Ooh.
What do you think? Am I wrong?
No, I think you're right. I think you.
No. What about DS9? What was the one with the race one where he was like, "We'll always just be niggas"? What was that one?
Oh man.
The one where Jake Sisko and in the 1920s.
Yeah, when he went back in time. Word.
I don't even think it was a back in time sort of thing. I think it was in his head.
Oh, are you talking about when his father kept No, that's a different episode. I was thinking when Sisko kept phasing in and out.
I'll tell you the name of the episode right now. It is in season 6. Is it Far Beyond the Stars?
Might be.
I think it's Far Beyond the Stars, dog. That's the one where it specifically deals with race. That's about as hardcore as it's ever gotten. Like, but Year of Hell on Voyager was pretty bad. I also thought that Family. There's an episode called Family on Next Generation. It's really emotionally with Picard and his brother.
That was crazy. That was crazy. You know what else I thought that was pretty hardcore when they turned Picard into a Borg. Just the whole taking of his body and doing what the hell they wanted to do with it, implanting shit, like, and then turning him against his own folks. Like,
there's the epic scene with Picard with the tear coming down. Being implanted with the Borg devices. It's like, that's an iconic scene in Star Trek.
That's iconic, and the end of because it was a two-parter.
The cliffhanger.
The cliffhanger when Riker was like fire.
Riker gives the one-off look, and he's just like,
that look of determination, like fire.
Oh man. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying you guys lost me at the Borg just because I started thinking about Jerry Ryan's freaking, and I was going through puberty when that was going on, so.
I don't care how fine Jerry Ryan was and how misogynistic people think that her character coming on, she was 50 times the character that fucking Kess was.
Yeah.
Kess was the worst, whiny ass, childlike character ever. And if she was gonna be replaced by anybody, I don't care if it's the crazy, chick with the hot body, dog. Like, I don't care. Get her off the show. I wanted her to be killed.
Right.
And then they try to make her like Jean Grey when she came back. Get the fuck out.
It was horrible. Yeah, it was horrible.
What are you doing here?
It was horrible.
Yeah, man. Other dark moments for Star Trek 2, Skin of Evil, when Ashiar gets killed, or what about Duet with Picard and that? No, that's not Picard. That's
Riker.
Sisko. No, Sisko and Gold is a Dukat.
Gold Dukat. Oh, wait a minute.
On that planet.
I'm telling you, Gray. I showed my nephew this. I said this, and my daughter. This is the single best villain diatribe in the history of television. The shit he was saying about the Bajoran, I swear, if you'd have put like a little cut mustache on his top lip, you would have swore it was an alien Hitler. Dude, he went in.
Yeah.
He went in.
That was it's pretty dark there, dog. Because Star Trek is kind of has undertones of a lot of racism. One species don't like the other species.
Right.
There's always that.
No, but dude, anytime you say, I should have killed them all. I should have turned that planet into a graveyard, the likes of which the galaxy had never seen, dude. that's genocide on a level. Just come on, man. Like, you thought I'm killing an entire planet.
Oh yeah, Ducat was the only character they would spit after they would say his name.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So in my eyes, he's one of the great villains of all time.
I think so too.
Since Joffrey, the villain has been redefined, and that's how you know you're a great villain.
Yeah.
You redefine the villain.
Oh yeah.
It's
Well,
like
villains aren't what they used to be. Remember back in the day, the villain was purely evil. And his intentions were evil, and he would twirl his little mustache, and I'm evil because I'm evil. But today, it's not like that anymore. Like there are villains out there that you sympathize with. Give you their backstory. Take a Magneto. I mean, can you really blame him? He was in the Holocaust. He saw his people being put in prison camps and slaughtered, only to make it to current times and see a similar thing happening to the mutants, which he is also a part of. Like, there, of course, he goes overboard sometimes, but you can sympathize with his plight.
Ike, who's the greatest villain of all time? There's only one answer to this question.
The greatest villain of all time? Skeletor, dog.
Oh, you're an asshole.
Get on.
You are an asshole. No fucking way. Skeletor's the greatest.
Oh, shit.
No.
Thanos.
I'm just kidding.
Thanos is the greatest villain.
Thanos is the greatest villain of all time.
He said Skeletor.
Look, I'm surprised he didn't say Mum-Ra.
No, Cobra
The
Commander, dude. Cobra Commander.
Cobra Commander. Oh, that's too funny.
But, I mean, you're right, Thanos. I mean, we were just talking about that yesterday. Like, he is just everything you need in a villain. He literally has a love affair with death. Like, literally.
Right.
literally in love with death.
Dude, he slaughtered an entire universe. Like,
do they ever get busy?
No.
He doesn't even talk to him, so I'm assuming they don't do anything.
No, see, what it is death in the Marvel Universe, when he sees it, it's in the form of a female with a skull head. Now, the thing is, this particular incarnation only leads him on. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
But there are times when death has actually spoke to him through another being. And one time, I never forget, she said, I do love you in the way that I can, the only way that I know how to, being what she is. Like, you can't expect her, like Thanos, for all his powers and all of his might, he still has cravings of a human, you know what I'm saying, or humanoid. Death isn't really, that's not her bag right there. So she loves him in the way that she can, but as far as, she's also in love with Deadpool.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Thanos made a move on Deadpool.
Oh, he has. He made it so Deadpool couldn't die, simply so he couldn't get back in contact with death.
Now, the one thing, I think the one single sickest thing Thanos has ever done that makes him the sickest villain ever is going around the whole universe. After going around and just getting all kinds of women all over the universe pregnant, having babies, all throughout the universe, he goes around and kills all of his babies' moms and all of his kids.
He killed all of them. With the exception of the one dude, Thane, and that turned around and bit him in his ass.
Yeah.
During the last fight, but yet, dude, he got women pregnant, not all over the neighborhood, not all over the city, not even all over the world. He got women pregnant all over the universe, and then went back and slaughtered his kids. He slaughtered them all. Come on, Thanos is a boss, man. Like, it doesn't get more evil than Thanos.
Thanos is the greatest villain. Greatest victory. Thanos has the greatest victory also as well over Infinity and Eternity and Chaos Order and the what's it called? The not the Spectre, but
the Living Tribunal.
Yeah, Living Tribune.
Yeah, he defeated all those cosmic beings, and they all attacked him at once. They all attacked him at once, and he took them down when he had that gun. Like, come on, man. Come on. They attacked him all at once, and he still won.
Well, we're coming up on time, but lastly, I'll ask you guys this. Do you think that the next 3 to 10 years, sci-fi will get better sci-fi, or you think, because my worry was that science fiction as a genre is not getting enough attention and that people don't care about it, so we won't ever get another Star Trek. We won't ever get another Stargate. But now they're supposedly in talks, and there's rumors about Star Trek. Maybe that's the, maybe get up interest. And then they're confirmed they're rebooting Stargate.
Right.
So, maybe, and then I don't know if you guys have seen Ender's Game, but that was really good to me.
I haven't seen it.
Look, that movie was pretty entertaining, man.
Okay.
That movie was worth the price of admission, I will say. I didn't think it was, fantastic, but I thought it was, it definitely had some scenes where you look over at your girl or whatever, and you're like, okay, this is not that bad. So, yeah, Ender's Game was pretty dope. But just sci-fi in general. RoboCop wasn't half bad. The ending was kind of shitty, but, what can you do? But
I don't know. I think sci-fi will get better.
Right now, it's fantasy. Right now, fantasy is the hot shit.
It's the hot thing. I think sci-fi will make its way around again. But the problem is, the sci-fi on TV, a lot of it now is trash. Especially if you go on the Sci-Fi Network.
Oh.
Dude, they keep belting out these horrible movies, made-for-TV movies or whatever. They are hideous, bad acting. They don't even have B actors. They have like Z actors.
Damn.
Like dude, the special effects
versus mob creature, man.
Right. It's horrible. It looks like my kids decided in the garage they was going to make a sci-fi set, and they're using like the coats that's in there as the aliens. It's horrible. It's horrible. That hurts because you look at a lot of our sci-fi that we like, it started off on TV and then moved out into the movies.
I thought about that today with Star Trek. Ike, what about you, man? What do you think?
Well, even before TV, sci-fi was, sci-fi books.
Right.
They were real popular. And nowadays, that popular reading is really kind of comic books. And that's part of fantasy. So really, sci-fi can sneak into the whole popularity of fantasy right now. I think if you made a Star Trek show on Netflix, it would be popular as fuck. People would watch that shit.
Netflix tomorrow.
Yeah, that shit would blow up. It would be great. I mean, it would be hard to really fuck it up. You have so many fans that are like, they're seriously gonna riot if they make a bad show.
Give it the right edge. Bring back a couple of characters that are familiar.
Right.
But go ahead and get your new cast. Go ahead and do your new ship. Go ahead and give it a new idea and a new. But bring back 1 or 2 characters that people are familiar.
To legitimize it.
Yeah, to legitimize it. Maybe bring in a Admiral Janeway or a Admiral Picard or maybe a Captain Riker or something like that. Maybe a Titan ship.
Captain Geordi.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Captain LaForge. He could actually make a fucking appearance. In fact, I would actually really like to see a series where he's the captain.
Yeah, me too.
Because there's already a precedence in Star Trek with that Timeless episode in Voyager.
Right.
So it's like you could easily go and do just that one of that timeline.
I agree.
Or I'll settle for Starfleet Academy. So.
Yeah, like the movies thing. I mean, the Star Trek movies will be cool, but they come out, they're 2 hours long, and then boom, you gotta wait another year or 2 for another movie. It's all about the series now. Like, I'm more excited about them doing Star Wars series than I am about this new Star Wars movie. I mean,
man, the stuff, I gotta be honest, the stuff I saw, I wasn't impressed. The stuff, like, dude, it looks hackneyed, it looks crappy, it looks like 90210 in space. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Right. For real. Yeah. And what's even more fucked up is that, like, I found that in the Ninja Turtles. Like, the new Ninja Turtles movie looks like shit. I'm sorry. It looks like hot garbage trash vomit. And the new animated show is dope. The one on Nickelodeon is fresh as fuck. What the fuck?
See, I'm all for new animated movies. Like, let that shit go to the movie theaters too. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Ike made a very good point earlier when he said that the comic books now has taken the place of a lot of stuff because it's actually a mixture of sci-fi and fantasy. You feel me? Like, with certain characters that are their powers are loosely around science or something like that, and then they got the fantasy with that's the adventure part of it, where they doing all this fantastic stuff
Going on the side quest.
Yeah, saving the world.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, man. Well, it should be interesting, man. I look forward to it. As long as they don't reboot Back to the Future, I won't be a part of any riots.
Right, I won't be right. Exactly.
They will be back rebooting that one day too.
No,
probably within the next 10 years.
I will hunger strike.
Dude, I will nuke the planet. Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
If they do it, don't put Michael J. Fox in as a cameo, please. Just don't do that.
Be associated with. They're gonna fuck it up. They're gonna put it in like a Mazda Miata, and like, it's like, come on, man, you can't. What? How? No.
They will force me to unleash the instrument of disorder.
Yes.
Seriously. I can't.
Well, speaking of that, let's do the last plug before we get on out of here on some music shit. I'll play the last song. Before we go, don't forget I'm gonna be in Atlanta, not this weekend, but next weekend. I think the 22nd and 23rd for the Coalition of Reason for Atlanta. So if you don't know about that, please check that out. Should be pretty fun. Great after parties in Atlanta, as always. The next show I also have is with Tombstone Celestial Wars in Temple Hills, Maryland, July 26th.
Yep.
Our campaign was amazing. Thank you guys again for supporting. But if you have you got there later, you didn't get a chance to get your ticket or whatever, check out the link that Tombstone posted, and we're going to repost it on the We Are Grand Unified Facebook page.
And you can also go to the our main Facebook page, and it's the top tab. Just go look at the top tabs. Just click on it right there. You'll find it.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, I'm Graydon Square. I got Ike D's and Tombstone the Dead Man. We are Grand Unified Theory, the creative collective that uses our creativity to educate and inform people. So, on that note, I'm going to play this Empire song, and we're going to get the out of here.
Dope.
Peace.
Peace, peace.
Why America is the greatest country in the world?
Why is
Not the greatest country in the world, Professor. That's my answer. Well, just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. And one of them is there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I wonder if the Romans saw their empire declining. Was the ones that said it's coming ridiculed, accused of lying, called malcontents that only specialized in whining, losers who were mad at the citizens that was climbing. Is that the way they rationalize the country that's crumbling with flag waving, nationalistic, chest thumping? And did they throw parades to say that they were number one instead of fighting the Malays? They gave a hint that they were done, but they discussing corruption of people in authorities, bolted them to really cope with ever-growing enemies. Unemployment rampant with a failing infrastructure. See, I wonder if these things became the way that they were under, and it's hard for me to see the shit and just ignore the parallels where everybody parties hard, the model being what the hell? Will others see the trend before it's too late, or will the realization come with barbarians at the gate? Don't get mad at me, cause I'm the one that shell is fire. Now is the gasoline that keeps the flames higher. Ignore it if you wanna be a slave to your desire, but this is what it looks like at the devil flying higher. Don't get mad at me, cause I'm the one that shell is fire. Now is the gasoline that keeps the flames higher. Ignore it if you wanna be a slave to your desire, but this is what it looks like at the devil flying higher. 300 million Americans are mostly seen as arrogant, and the globe could be on fire and they scarcely be aware of it. At least that's the impression the rest of the world is giving. What was truly nauseating is I cannot argue with Too many caught up in their first world problems inside their first world bubble. Their comfort level blinds their minds to the trouble that their government will get into and do it in our names, cause nobody's held responsible, so they just took the reins. How can 90% of Americans want gun control, universal background checks, and they just say no? Like, fuck how you feel, cause we don't have to the email you have written to see the crimes that you're admitting, like confessions you're submitting. In the process of this fuckery, the Constitution's written. Oh, by the way, you're paying us to disregard your problems. It's ironic that the problems us to no one else to solve them. Don't get mad at me, cause I'm the one that shall fire. Now is the gasoline that keeps the flames higher. Knowing if you want to be a slave to your desire, but this is what it gets like at the devil fires. Don't get mad at me, cause I'm the one that shall fire. Now is the gasoline that keeps the flames higher. Knowing if you want to be a slave to your desire, but this is what it looks like at the devil fires. Nowadays, these conspiracies are easy to believe because the collective consciousness perceives the government disease. And no matter just how ridiculous a lot of them will seem, the population will spread it around with statuses and memes. There's a general disgust about things that they don't trust. When the media ain't leading some topics they won't touch. But our attention spans are very we got ADD. While those in power seek to redefine what liberty means. Yo, the people on the top can give a crap about the bottom. Or the access, or the money, or the resources they got them. And you part your lips to talk about what man won't rule. They're laughing at you drinking champagne in their luxury food. Cause every empire ever existed is falling to dust. And it's kind of ludicrous to think that the exception is us. But laugh me off and watch us march in the exact same road. And years from now, this empire will be another story told. Don't get mad at me, cause I'm the one that shall fire. Now is the gasoline that keeps the flames higher. Knowing if you want to be a slave to your desire, but this is what it gets like at the devil fires. Don't get mad at me, cause I'm the one that shall fire. Now is the gasoline that keeps the flames higher. Knowing if you want to be a slave to your desire, but this is what it gets like at the devil fires. Don't get mad at me, cause I'm the one that shall fire. Now is the gasoline that keeps the flames higher. Knowing if you want to be a slave to your desire, but this is what it gets like at the devil fires.